welcome back to another edition of Open Shutter. Welcome back, Mike Dancy. He's back on the program. Mike, I was just checking the last time you were on, and it was like November 9th of 2022. So 2 years,
Isn't that
basically.
funny? Wow,
Yeah,
almost
it's been 2 years.
Jeez, oh,
So thanks for coming back.
Anytime. I always enjoy watching your podcast.
Yeah, man. We had a great time last time chatting about making stuff.
Is it easier to listen to it or is it easier to watch it, you think?
The podcast? I don't know. I don't know. It depends on, I think everyone listens to podcasts differently. Some people like it on the background, so they just kind of like listen to it. Or if you're at the gym. But maybe some people just, instead of watching TV, they just want to watch a podcast.
Well, it makes sense if you have it in the background. It's nice to have that little voice. It's like when you always want to hear like white noise almost. But I listen all the time when I'm driving.
Right.
Probably not a smart idea because you should be paying attention, obviously. But
yes.
You get lulled into a conversation sometimes and you're like, screw it, I'm going to drive to Guelph.
Yeah. And I mean, I usually listen to podcasts just because, I don't know, I'm always doing something. But I mean, if I really want to watch it because the person's talking about something that I have to see, like a video or like a picture, then that's when it's useful to be able to watch it, because at least you can put context to what the person's talking about versus no video, because then you don't have any context, right? So that's the power of the video portion of it. Yeah. But I think it'd be a good stat to like poll people just in general. Like, do you watch it or do you listen to it?
Well, YouTube is the biggest streaming service in the world, obviously, like bigger than Netflix. And even their podcast section has just grown exponentially. Like it's just exploded.
Yeah.
And like I had a podcast for a while, right? Where I was interviewing other podcasters.
Yeah.
So much fun, but it just takes up all your time and there's no reward.
Right. So, what do you mean by no? What do you mean by that? No reward.
Well, at the time, it was just like for me, it was a small podcast.
Yeah.
Right. I'd only get an audience of like 50 people will listen.
It's all right.
Funny though, because my cousin has a podcast where he uses it just for work to drive leads into his business, because he does. He has a company called StatsDrone where he builds like the back end of online casinos for like tracking interactions,
like Ocean's 11 stuff.
Well, legally though, I mean, like you gamble and all your data is being collected, which machine you go to from which machine with your little card. All that kind of information is painting a portrait of you, just like in the algorithm on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So casinos, if casinos ever got in the streaming business, they know all your buttons.
They want to follow you. They want to know who you are.
Well, they would just take every penny out of your pocket.
Well, that's been done. That's been done.
That is all they do.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, his podcast is really interesting, and he uses the drive business, and I find stuff like that interesting though too. So when you get into podcasts that don't have a reward, then what's the point? Almost.
Yeah. What depends on like, I don't know. You have to ask yourself like why are you doing it? It always comes back to like, well, why? Like, what's the purpose, right? Like, what is it? What is it like? What is it?
I enjoy talking shit to strangers. So
there you go. That's it. That's the driver. It can be very simple sometimes.
Oh, it's so much fun.
But yeah, man, lots changed since last time you're on, doing all kinds of different things, and we were just chatting offline about the UGC world, which I think is a pretty. I don't know, it just seems to me like a very wild west type of world right now.
It is. It's really interesting. I can't think of anything before it that was where you're like an independent person running your own business, being a creator for other companies, because that's what UGC is, user-generated content.
Right. Okay. So what is that though? What is it?
Well, that's when you are scrolling on your phone and all of a sudden an ad pops up. It's an ad.
Yeah.
But it's done by a guy like me or something saying, "Oh man, have you tried this new Yeti mug? It comes now in yellow and blue. Keeps everything hot." And then you're like, "Was that an ad or was that just some guy making a video about a mug?" Well, chances are the brand paid for that.
Yeah.
And or he's getting a commission on the sale of it. But all brands seem to do it.
So there's people out there, just normal people, just making basically commercials for brands, essentially. Like
that is
basically
all it is.
Making a commercial.
Yeah, and then there's brand managers, and like there's the people that work for the brands going. It's like, think of the advertising, because the advertising has really shifted, right? 80s and 90s, you're talking magazines, newspapers, and TV. magazines, newspapers, they start folding around 2005, 2001. Everything, that's when the internet starts building up. And then now we are the new yellow pages for a lot of businesses out there that's driving the business to them. So these are the new ads. Like when you're flipping through your magazine and you'll see a bunch of ads advertising anything. Well, that's what it is now. And it's all these companies. Well, I got a case of these glasses, for example.
There you go.
And they pay you for that, and they give you the product, and you make the videos. And what's interesting about UGC, though, is that you don't need to be a supermodel, as you can tell. I mean, the more unique you are, the way you look, or the way you talk, or your mannerisms, or your environment, then that's what drives them to you. They're not looking for the average person doing the average thing every day. So if you stand out, then you're going to get more business.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So how's it been? So how's it been for you so far? Like,
Well,
how's the experience been?
I've been doing a lot of senior products.
Really? And why is that though?
I wonder why. Is it my gray hair, you think?
Nah, you're not a senior though.
I am not a senior.
It's your birthday tomorrow, but you're not a senior.
True, but I am a very old-looking young person. So I guess that's a problem. Kind of like Steve Martin, where he went white at 30 and he stayed white.
Yeah.
So that's one of the situations I have. So I get all these companies saying, "Oh, you look like you can appeal to 70-year-olds."
What do you say to that? Pay me?
Take our walker. So yeah, you get paid for it. So you get, in my case, I'll take anywhere from like say $600 to $600 to $1,000 Canadian, and the product's usually about $1,000, give or take.
Okay.
So then you shoot 3 videos. You shoot 3 different hooks on them, for example. You send them to them with a big word on it that says sample, so that they don't scream and not pay you. Yeah, we can get into that.
It's a good tip.
And that's it. You wait for the next. Yeah.
So are people like calling you or emailing you, or are you emailing out?
Well, at the beginning, I was emailing out a little bit, but it's pretty much been all inbound.
Interesting.
And yeah, the way I find, first off, you need a portfolio. So you're going to need to have like a website where you store your portfolio. And then that could be like the best little pieces of your work. And then you're going to need to have a backup of all your work. So I keep a lot of mine on YouTube under my name, UGC Dad, where I just dump them. I don't think anything about them.
Right.
But before you know it, that draws up. You can see there's like, what's that?
There's 101 videos on there.
Yeah.
So you made 100 videos.
But I think some of them are like 10,000 views and more, which is really surprising.
Yeah, like the Stanley mug is 24K.
Yeah, so that's where I store that's almost like my portfolio. So the thing is, if you want to build a portfolio, you want people to see it, and then obviously leave all your contact information there, then the inbounds just start coming. So there's going to be agencies that will be contacting you who represent a bunch of brands.
Right.
And then there'll be the brands contacting you directly. And then there will be these Amazon sellers who are getting you to make videos for them. And let's get into that for a second, because that's really the UGC pays okay. I do like 2 to 3 a month. But then the Amazon influencer program, the AIP, that's where the money really starts coming in, because it's like YouTube money. It's like residual. It's always building up. So you can make a video in July and it will sell like hotcakes in November, and that's when you get paid.
Yeah.
So you're in that case, you're just getting a gifted solution, usually like a gifted product, whatever it might be. But usually in my case, it's pretty cool stuff. And then you make the video for them, and then that's where the income really starts coming in too.
The Amazon influencer program?
You could do it. I think actually probably a lot of the people listening could probably sign up. So they never really state what you need to be a member. They don't say, you got to be an influencer. That's it. Yeah. So there's .com for Americans. That's where the real money is. .ca for Canadians, which is the one I first signed up to because I didn't know any better. And then there's I also signed up to Australia and Great Britain, because those are all English speaking Amazon pages.
Right.
So when you're trying to buy, like a tripod for your iPhone, you'll see my video there. And if you click it and buy it, then I get a few pennies on it.
Yeah. Look, I'll sign up.
Try it. Right, you'll love it. And it's the funniest things because all this stuff I have in my office is pretty much from Amazon.
Yeah.
And then you reach a point where Amazon gives you like this little bit of bonus money, like 10% of whatever you sell. So say you do $1,000 on Amazon, you get $100 little gift card, right? And they're like, go buy something. So then you buy something, and so I got like all my Casio watches. I've probably got 20 of them.
Yeah.
Because it's just free money. Yeah. So, I mean, I think anyone could probably get into it. But
do you need like a following on social media, like a base?
Well, for the influencer portion, they ask that you be an influencer, but they don't really set the
But do you need like 10K on Instagram or like 20K on YouTube?
People that are joined with like 100 people, 100 followers.
Yeah.
But what it is, I believe, is the engagement. So they want to see comments, for example, or likes.
Oh, I see.
So when I applied, I had like 100,000 on TikTok or some crazy number, and it was automatic like that. So usually it might take up to 3 days to get confirmed, but when you have a larger number, it's pretty much the next day or a couple of days, and then that's it. You have to submit 3 videos for review just to make sure you have an idea what you're doing, and then every video you submit after that will be reviewed. But then after a while, they start slacking off a bit, like YouTube is with like the monetization. If you're not going to post horrible things, you just have to remember not to post barcodes or anything personal like license plates or stuff. That's why whenever I do a dash cam review, you can't show the dash cam footage. It's like, trust me, it looks good. You can only post the hardware.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But they tell you this stuff like when like are you talking to someone on the phone when you're going through the process, or is it just email all the time?
Oh, there's no communication.
So they just send you the.
Oh, you mean for the products?
Yeah, for the products.
Oh, for the products. Yeah, no, they'll they email you first all the time. So that's why it's also handy to keep your login names. Like if your login is Frank at hotmail.com for YouTube, don't start using Frank at hotmail.com for all your messaging with these people as well too, just in case you get nefarious characters that want to hack into your account. Yeah. So that's why it's nice when you have your portfolio to put on your own website, and at that point you can use your own domain. So I'm like Mike at MikeDancy.com. Super easy, right? Or Mike at thinkvideo.ca, which is the business name I run everything under. But inbounds are crazy. I mean, every day it's like 3 or 4.
So what do you do with them usually? You read them and what, you say yes, you say no, you have to think about it.
Well, I made the mistake of saying yes at first to everything.
Yeah, I guess I probably would too, to be honest with you. Like I would want it all. Just give me all the money, right?
Yeah, I'm like, just bring it.
Just give me all the, just pay me, right? But then you still gotta make the videos. Like you still gotta do the work.
Oh yeah. And then like I said, it was a very tough summer between my buddy dying and renovating the basement, and my mom passing away, then chaotic summer. I had no time to film anything. So all of a sudden it's the fall and I got the time to start working on all these. And the brands are like, hey, we sent you this 6 months ago. When's it going to get done? Right. So then you start rushing them through. But if you're an experienced creator and you've edited 100 or 500 videos, once you get into the swing of it, it's no different than just putting them together like, 1, 2, 3 and pushing them at the door. You don't have to be super creative on each one. You just have to, you can make the same video for like 5 different companies. Yeah. Then it works. Just keep changing the product and the hook and the lines.
Like how much control do you have with the video? Do you have to stay within like a set kind of like
boundary? That depends on the brand. I've had a few companies where they'll send me a script.
Right.
And at first I'm like, oh, scripts are horrible. But then I realized that once I read the script, I was able to build the shot in my head. And it didn't take me any time to make it. Whereas when a company says, do whatever you want to do, just make it happen. Then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're walking the dog and I go, how would I do this? And how would I do that? And how can I make like a wallet really interesting? Or,
exactly. It's not
something completely lame. How can I make this?
Exactly. Like, how do you do that though? Like, how do you do that? Right.
Well, I smoke a lot of weed.
There you go.
Everyone needs that creative juice.
Wow, whatever, we're like whatever gets it done.
Yeah, or you just have to get your headspace in there. But like I said, making anything perfect is going to just stop you in your tracks. So
yeah, of course,
you just got to make it. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, because I guess people like watching this or listening to this, oh, they must think it's like easy to like make something about whatever, a wallet or like a flashlight, but like when you actually get down to it, it's actually not easy. Because like I don't know, to me, it's like I would have to enjoy making the video. Like I would have to actually enjoy the product to really make a video about it. But that's just me. Like I don't know. It's just
Well, it's funny. I
you know what I
think
mean?
that you are an excellent editor, and something like that would just completely come natural to you. But you do a lot of wide form. I think you'd have a little trouble with the short form.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas for me, like the bang a video out in 30 seconds, it's like, oh, thank God, I can just do this without even thinking.
Yeah.
And then the long form videos, sometimes they just tank.
Sure.
But they're still fun to make. I enjoy the editing portion. Like I like building the story inside the edit, but your editing is so much better. I'm sure you could do this, no problem.
I could, but like I would have to actually enjoy the product so much to actually make it. You know what I mean? Like
let's talk about that for a second then.
Yeah.
So if you want a particular style of product, so when I go on, there are all these different UGC, I guess you call them channels. So on Twitter and on TikTok and on LinkedIn and Reddit and everything else, there's always going to be like a UGC community where everyone gets together. And I would say like 90% of those people are young and female. At least that's how it feels.
Yeah.
And they just like completely fight over each other to get like all these beauty product brands or traveling brands, which leaves the rest of the scraps for guys like me, which is perfectly fine. Okay. But if you really want to start attracting a certain niche of the product, you got to make the videos in that niche.
Sure.
Right. Just like YouTube. So if I like flashlight videos, well, I made a few flashlight videos. And then all these brands just started shipping me flashlights.
You're the flashlight king, man.
It is crazy. That's how it happened.
I never knew there's so many flashlights to be tried.
And such a huge community of flashlight lovers.
You would never think.
Yeah, well, there's people that do EDC, right? Everyday camper, everyday carry.
Everyday carry, yeah.
Like
I guess for knives and
yeah. Peter McKinnon, he likes his wallets and his knives and his hats.
Right.
I like my flashlights and I like my screwdrivers. And there's people that do that kind of niche. So if you make videos in that niche, then you're more likely to draw brands from that niche to you.
Yes.
So
because you are that person.
Pardon me?
Because you are that person.
Right. Yeah.
You are the flashlight king.
Go on Instagram and make some videos about whatever it is that you find fancy, and maybe tag a brand or two and stick with that niche for a few months. And then eventually people will start following you for that niche, and brands will start reaching out to you saying, hey, try this. Like when I made that first big TikTok and it got all those views about the PS5, I was flooded with accessories for gaming, like free games and controllers and chargers and mounts and all this crazy shit. I didn't, and I wanted nothing to do with that. You
weren't expecting it.
No, and I want nothing to do with that because I do not like gaming at all. I don't mind it, but not like that. But I prefer the handheld gaming. So when I got into that portion of it, then like those little retro game companies started sending me all kinds of packages, which was more up my alley. So if you want to get into it and you want to focus on something, I mean, you could do tool reviews since you have probably like an unlimited supply of them at your current position.
Yeah, there's lots of tools, but I don't really love tools though. You know what I mean? Like it's not really my jam. So for me, it would be hard to make it because I don't really care about it.
True, but if your company wants some new equipment, they should make videos about their current equipment.
Maybe. They would have to explain what the tool is. I can get them talking about it, but like I wouldn't personally pick up a tool and start talking about a backhoe. You know what I mean? Because it's not really my jam.
No, but I bet you all the drivers that you work with would love to chat about that.
I bet you there's a community about it.
Oh, there's a huge community for that.
I bet you there is, But I mean, I guess it could be for anything in your house. You can make it. You can be like the brand guru for anything really in your home if you're really
Yeah.
passionate about it, I suppose.
Yeah, so that's what drives you into the UGC business is once you start doing that, and the Americans have TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
So those
We don't
guys
have that, right? Canada doesn't have
no, we
that.
do not have that, which is a real shame because I have a few friends that make like 10, 15 grand a month
Insane.
just from that. I mean, plus the
Insane.
UGC
10,
they do
15 grand a month?
a month. Yeah. Actually, sometimes even more, but
Crazy.
and it's the little things too, like tripods and stuff, you know, like the little, like I got sucked into that, that tentacle tripod.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ads for that?
No.
That's a tripod.
Tentacle tripod?
Looks like an octopus grip.
Oh.
And I saw the ads. I saw it on TikTok and I saw it on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. It was like 2 for $50 or something. And but those guys, I'm sure, made a fortune off that little. It probably cost them $3 to make.
Yeah.
You know, and they probably made a fortune off that thing. Anyway.
Is it this?
Yeah, that's it.
Look, a video.
Well, click on any of them. Click on any of them, and you'll see a video. So that's once it arrives, I'll be definitely making one of these videos.
Yeah.
So your bottom, whatever that corner is for you, left or right. There's only one video there.
Yeah.
So what's stopping me from making a video and getting however many sales it is per month? But
Yeah,
using the Amazon.
video.
Yeah.
So is that what you're gonna do?
Oh, 100%. I do it with everything that comes in the door. Everything from oh my goodness, like carpets to bathroom accessories to anything that comes through the door gets an Amazon.
Wow.
That was like a sex toy.
Basically. There's only one here too.
Well, they might have a setup so that they have to approve every video made.
Yeah.
There's that option too. That could be through the brand, but there might be a reseller on there or a person that sells the counterfeit, like the knockoff version.
Mm-hmm.
You can make the video for them, and I don't think they have say in who makes the videos for them. I'm not 100% on that though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So the Wild Wild West, you can just do whatever you want, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
In a way. In a way.
Like, there's huge communities, like I said, everywhere that are into this. Where you go on Reddit or just hashtag UGC and Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it X.
Right.
But
screw you, Elon.
Yeah. You'll see so many people in there that are doing it. And it's good because a lot of younger people are unemployed, right? So this is a good way for them to earn a side income that's not driving for Uber or delivering food or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Plus it really kind of hones your skills in terms of making videos and shooting and talking in front of the camera and editing and all these things that go into it, right?
Oh yeah, and it creates a lot of jobs, I think. Not just, there's the jobs to the solo creator, but now there's accountants that just specialize in doing creator taxes.
Yeah.
For example, and there's so many people are selling courses on how to become a UGC creator or an Amazon influencer and all this.
Yeah.
You know, they say, I mean, those that can do and those that can't teach. So
yeah, well, I was going to ask you, is it do you think the course is needed, or or is it just a matter of just kind of doing the work?
Just cut your teeth on it. And you'll get into it because you want to almost find your own groove. You don't want to do the same thing everyone else is doing because
you want to you want to stand up from the crowd.
Yeah, you're gonna have 20 people chasing $1, or you can sit back and chase the whole dollar to yourself.
Yeah,
you don't want to divide it up. Just go out and make your own.
Right, and I guess that's where the niche comes in. Or
100%.
You're like the flashlight guy. They know to contact you for the flashlight.
Yeah, well, the flashlight. So that's not exactly. Well, I guess that is still UGC, but that is more. So I'm not getting. Well, I don't always get paid by the flashlight. Some do, some don't. But I tell them that paid videos always get faster on the list than unpaid.
Right.
And but where I make money from that is when they send me the flashlight, I make the Amazon video. So once again, I'm getting the Amazon sales. Yeah. And then I make the YouTube video, which then gets however many thousands of views it might get. And then in there is the link back to Amazon, but it's that's your affiliate link. And anyone can get an affiliate link.
Yeah.
So it's funny when you go to my YouTube stats, you'll see what I earned from people going to Amazon directly like yourself with the tentacle and clicking on it, compared to now if I make that video on my other YouTube channel and I leave the links there, then all of a sudden it will track that as off Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's interesting watching how the two incomes start splitting up, because it used to be 90% on Amazon, and now it's like 60-40. Because the YouTube videos are really starting to drive the traffic.
Interesting.
Oh, I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, man. Like it's a whole like career. It's a whole one-man production suite, really. Like you're doing stuff that like large studios do, right? It's like, no, just contact Mike. He'll do it.
Yeah. So, having your cousin build your website, it might not be perfect, but it'll do the trick until you figure out what you want to do with it. But like I have other friends who are just like full-on production guys.
Right.
And they have like a team of 3 or 4, and they go and make really high quality videos as well. So they're doing it and they're still earning an income. It's not like a solopreneur like myself is going to go and knock someone like that out of their own business. There's enough business going around that everyone can get on. Like you don't have to be a social media manager for a company. Right. You can just create content for like 2 or 3 different companies and have them post it on their own Instagram or whatever it might be too. So once you get into this kind of business, I mean, it's a nonstop hustle of encapsulating all different portions of it into one job. Anything to pay the rent, right?
Yeah, the grind, right? Like, it never stops.
Oh man. And sometimes, like I said, you're sitting there and you're looking at this and you're like going, how can I make this networking tool worth watching the whole video for? Because it is just dry as shit.
Yeah. Right? Not easy.
Oh, and then it could take us so much time, but it's a technical product too. Like a flashlight's easy peasy. Like take it aside, turn it on, there you go. But when you get something that's got to hang off the network and it's got all these drives attached to it, like I'm reviewing now like a storage array, right? For creators, and it's like 164 terabytes of storage, and you're trying to get your data onto it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just the most tedious video I've ever made. That's why I no longer make computer videos, because it used to drive like you pull my hair out.
You don't miss it? You don't miss making those videos?
I miss tinkering with the computers, because if I just do it without filming myself, then everything's hunky-dory. I don't mind doing it at all.
Right.
But making the video about it, I was like, stop, move the camera, take the shot, screwed it up, take the shot again.
Yeah, of course.
Though maybe I'll just start going live with the computer repair.
Yeah, just do like a live.
Like on a Saturday morning, say, I know I'm going to fix this computer and I'll answer questions while I'm doing it.
Yeah, man, why not? It's quick and easy, right?
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that drives more traffic to your TikTok and Instagram. So then people will see your other content too. But I don't want to start getting a bunch of computers sent to me for repair though either. So
no, you don't want that. Crazy, man. So for people that want to get into this, like what's the best way to find leads? Is there a site like that you recommend?
So there's an app for your phone. That one's called Incense, INSENSE, I think it is.
Like this, like the fragrance?
I believe so. Not like the brother or sister content.
Yeah.
Yeah, Incense, INSENSE, and that's on mobile. And then there's an app called Levanta.io, LEVANTA.io.
Okay.
And so how those work is Incense might pay you to make a video. Like you log in and you have to enter your Instagram and your Facebook and whatever else it might be. But you'll start getting these small leads. So I was getting that's where I get the wallet from, for example, a leather belt and wrist things. That's when I started getting into some of the older person stuff, because I fit that demographic for them, and they were having trouble finding someone that could look like an older person. So you do a few deals there, and then all of a sudden you're off. It's almost like eBay, where you sell, instead of selling on eBay, now you're selling it off eBay. So now you're communicating with this person. And from there, I got into this agency, and then the agency started sending me products. But Levanta, on the other hand, is a pure product in exchange for content. So what they'll do is they'll send you the product for free, and you're going to post it on Amazon because it's for Amazon influencers. And what they'll do is, instead of giving you the standard commission rate, which on Amazon is a maximum of 4%, they might do, say, 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you a special link back to your video, to your content.
Right.
And then you get paid that way too. So I've gotten a lot of stuff from them too, like tents and camping gear. And
have you kept everything that's been sent to you? Like, do you have a closet just full of just stuff?
Oh, well, it's everywhere. It is everywhere.
You're gonna have like a big garage sale like next summer, and just like,
I've had so many. I've had a yard sale already, and I was just
yeah, I saw that.
But dash cams. So when I get the dash cams, I typically give those away to friends because it's just
very nice of you.
So many of them, and they stack up. Like, here's one.
Oh man.
You know. Yeah, so I make a lot of content. I just don't do UGC. I do YouTube and I do TikToks and I do.
Yeah.
I'm on top of a lot of different platforms, just trying to stay relevant in it.
Right. You ever get tired?
Oh, I'm exhausted all the time.
Like, do you just like one day do you just feel like I'm not doing this anymore?
Oh, most days.
Because I'm burnt out for you.
Pardon me?
Because I'm burnt out for you.
Yeah. No, it's some days like, oh, I just can't do it today. But
you just like, I'm not making this video about this dash cam today.
Oh my God. The dash cam's been waiting patiently because I'm like, I got sick of dash cams for a while. So then I went on and tried other things.
Right.
I can't even remember the last thing. I honestly can't. Oh, was it the battery case? Might have been a battery case.
Yeah. Because I just imagine like just the constant churn of videos and like just like constant hustle will probably, can definitely cause burnout, right? It's like it's no joke.
Well, it makes me go a little crazy, which is why I like talking to strangers, because you can say anything you want and it won't come across as crazy because they might just think that's part of your personality.
Right.
So that's why I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, interesting. You ever get like feedback after the video? Like the company says, yay, like I like this, or don't do this next time, or you get any kind of feedback about like
like
finished product?
Yeah, I find that if it's good feedback, then they keep sending this stuff.
Right.
Like, that's why I get so many flashlights.
Right.
If it's not good, well, they never contact you again.
But they don't tell you like what's good and what's like don't do this, don't do this, do this. Like you don't you don't know. You don't know what went wrong.
Well, no, like if you're doing UGC with them and you have the contract set up, then it is a distinct. You send the stuff in for review, and what you end up doing is you will do two ways of doing this contract. One, you create the whole video for them A to Z, and you submit to them as a polished form, ready to go. Two, you film whatever you have in your head or they have in their head as a script. And you just send that raw content, and then they chop and dice and make their own.
And they edit on their end.
Yeah, because they might get, say, 3 or 4 people all saying the same thing, and then they can take that content from those 3 or 4 different people and put them all in together.
Oh, really? They would do that, eh?
That's
interesting. That's interesting because you would think that all the footage would look different.
Yeah, they're buying it would look different, but if everyone says the exact same thing. Everyone says, I love this yellow coffee cup.
Right.
And, 15 different people do it. Then they can have that.
Right, they can mash it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 different people all say it all at the same time.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
With the product not moving.
Right. I'm thinking like B-roll stuff would look different, but okay. A mashup of people saying I love this product would make sense.
Yeah. Or you can test it to different demographics, for example. You say, oh, I've got our old people up here and our young people down here, and mix and match of everyone.
So like how big are these contracts? Like do you need like a lawyer to like look at this thing?
I don't think so. Actually, a lot of deals I do, well, I would say maybe 1 out of every 10 is an actual contract.
The others are just off like Google.
Yeah, basically. My dog's trying to get on my lap. So, but she's a big dog. Yeah, so the contracts come in, or the deals come in. Usually it's just laid out in an email saying we're looking for this, 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 and this.
Right.
And they'll send you sometimes samples of what other people have done that worked for them, and they really like it. And that's on a Google Drive usually. So that's when you start creating the content for them. And then as you move on, you put all the raw footage up as well, if that's the kind of deal you sign. So something like that, definitely monetary. I mean, you're not doing a gift exchange if you're putting in this much work and effort and giving away all your IP, like licensing all your name and your face.
Right.
So for that, you're definitely getting paid. Like when you start doing those kind of deals, it's $1,000 and up. I mean, don't do it for anything less.
Yeah.
Because you're just shooting yourself in the foot if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then those deals, like that's a right proper, and taxes. Don't forget the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do this as a side hustle, then be ready just to use PayPal, as getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And try not to make too much. Because I can almost guarantee the CRA is going to start looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not? If all these unemployed people all of a sudden have income and they're wondering why are all these bars and everything's so busy, it's because young people are there filming content and spending money, right? So yeah. So I have a legit business license with taxes and the accountant and everything too, and QuickBooks. But if you're going to do as a side hustle, just don't go too crazy. But it's great for free product. But once again, you got to claim the product if it has any value too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it depends how far you want to go with it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, if it's a car, which I would love to get a car one day.
Hey, why not?
Well, I've seen other guys do it, like other creators I know.
They keep the car?
Yeah, well, they'll get like a 3-year lease.
Like a lease on it, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you got to agree to making so many videos on this product over the next 3 years or over the next year, and then they'll have the lease. Or computers. There's nothing with the computers. You can just get the computer, make the content. But that's what I just got, like that storage rack, that storage array. I got to make some content for them in exchange for it. But man, it's a beautiful machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just difficult to make content for.
So then, how do you get your ideas?
Well, you just start filming stuff, and then everything comes together in the edit.
You start playing around with it. Yeah, exactly.
You take what you got, and then
you just make it work.
Yeah. So for me, I really like the audio portion of it. I almost like an ASMR unboxing style. I really like that part of it. So what I'll usually do is I'll do like a really fast unboxing, like it's, and then just start plugging things in, because then you almost get like that real quick overview of what you're doing in the product. Like you're doing a quick assembly of it, and then you can go into the review of it, or the usage, and then the review.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to making that video. I'm just not looking forward to making that video. Looking forward to seeing it finished. Looking forward to making it.
It's in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's consuming all my time right now.
Well, I'm sure you'll get the idea one morning at 3:00 in the morning. It's going to come to you, man, in like a dream or something.
Probably. Well, you see, that's the thing. I don't see the finished video in my head when I make it, unless you got a script. I mean, I don't know. How do you make videos? Like when you're making a vlog.
Yeah, I just do it. I make it.
Yeah, you're going to happen
because I don't have any control over what happens.
Exactly. I do the same with this. It's like because usually I'll do it as a first time. I'm not doing it as I've already built it, assembled it, used it. Now I'm making the video. I'm going with it as it happens.
Right. But do you have like an underlying like message that you want to convey?
Message,
or like a North Star, or like a message, or it just comes together in post, all of it.
Also, well, the main endpoint is always the call to action, the CTA, right?
Yeah, right.
And to make the person want to buy it.
That is the end goal.
Yeah. So if something is driving you nuts and you're like, man, this is just bugging the shit out of me, that's not going in the video.
That's how you feel.
Right. It might go in the YouTube review later. It's not going to go in the Amazon video, and it's not going to
get in trouble? Did you ever in trouble for speaking your mind on YouTube?
No, not yet. But it's funny though. All the products where I've really spoken my mind are ones I've purchased. Like I bought these little wireless mics one time, like for $20, those type. And I'm like, wow, these are the biggest piece of crap I've ever used.
Yeah.
And I made that video, and it went not necessarily viral, but I think it had like 10 or 15,000 views or something. And that company didn't say anything, which is good. I don't know how many people didn't buy them, but sometimes you got to speak your mind.
Well, it's hard to like support a product that you don't believe in. You know what I mean? Like it'd be hard to do that, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, or it's easier just not to make a video at all.
Or just not even do it in the first place. Yeah, exactly.
And I've done that with companies when they sent me a product and I'm starting to make the video and I'm using it. I'm like, wow, this thing's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I'd email them back and I say, hey, listen, I don't know if you want this video because it's not going to be flattering. So do you want me to send the product back or what do you want me to do?
Right. You got to be honest with them.
Yeah. And they're like, no, you keep it. You keep it. And I'm like, I'll donate it. You mean it's going to go to Goodwill because it was just such a steaming pile of crap.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta believe in what you're doing, because that's gonna come across on the finished product too, that you don't really love what you're talking about.
Yeah, and well, it's the thing too. If you do get a little bit burnt out, that also comes across.
Of course,
right? You don't have the energy or enthusiasm.
You're not like rah, you know.
Yeah. So when I make a video like that, a lot of that will have little audio, and usually just like a musical soundtrack, or just ASMR style.
Yeah.
You know, like if I can't think of something to say about a product, I'm just gonna make it like a giant piece of Lego with a lot of click clacks and.
People love that stuff, man.
I think so.
People love that stuff. Have it on the background. It's very soothing. It's almost like therapy. Almost.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that's it. That's like the A to Z of UGC and
like it's not. Yeah, like you make it sound easy, but it's not.
Oh, it's a full-on business.
Yeah.
If I could hire someone to do the. If I could see, that's the thing. Who are you going to hire? I'm not going to hire the editor because that's the part I enjoy the most.
Right.
Maybe I'd hire someone to film it, but to do that, I'd have to really have the final thought of the video in my head before I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I've contracted it the accounting just because that is over my head.
Yeah.
But the deal making, like the outreach and the inbound, I enjoy that part too. But I find that's the part I'm really good at. So this is what I was thinking. Well, when I get too old to make videos, I'm just going to start an agency. Whereas I'll just be the guy bringing in the deals, and I'll have like 3 or 4 or 5 people underneath me, like creators.
Right.
And they'll say, okay, this is $1,000. I'm keeping 100. You get 900. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's get this done. Here's some ideas. Let's make it happen, or just do that portion of it. Then they send me the final form, and everybody wins.
It's not a bad deal.
No, I think it'll work. That's like I said, when I become too feeble and out of my mind with dementia, then that's what I'll move into.
I think people would sign up for that too.
Oh yeah, let's watch the crazy guy try and make bad business decisions.
We got another video for the 120th flashlight, guys. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I really enjoy those videos because they get me out of the house, and that's where I get the ideas for some of the other videos too.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden now you're out in the bush and you're by yourself, and there's no sound. Or I go out to the beach. I go to Wasaga a lot at night. I just, smoke a joint, go out there, walk up and down the beach, and make the video. And that's when you think, oh, okay, well maybe I can do this and this and this, because that's when you get your alone time and you're thinking to yourself time. And it's very peaceful and relaxing. I wouldn't quite call it meditation, but it's
close.
Yeah, it's borderline enjoyable, that's for sure. But we sold the cottage in Mississauga, so
you guys sold it.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do then? Are you still gonna go up there?
Probably. Or a friend of mine has a trailer park up there. I was thinking of just buying a trailer and parking it there and using it in the same aspect. Like just go up when I want to go up.
Yeah.
In case I want to go skiing or something or whatever it might be. But yeah, it's a good spot to go.
Yeah, you need that space to like just recharge and like almost like disconnect with everything, just to give yourself space to get ideas,
Oh yeah. And around here there's always someone. Like I was making a flashlight video the other day in the bush, middle of nowhere, and this couple and their dog were walking by, and I'm like, where did these people come from? I was almost lost, and all of a sudden,
no way.
Yeah, why are these
people like, Mike, UGC? Yeah, that's me.
I'm out there talking to myself with the flashlight.
Oh my god, yeah, that's hilarious, man. Never fails though. Whenever you're trying to make something, there's always something that bothers you. Happens to me all the time.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere, there's always something that car honks or something. You can be in the middle of nowhere. Who knows? A lion comes out of nowhere.
Well, then you should embrace it and make
Embrace
that
it.
or
Yeah.
make that, like, record all that and make it that into your,
Yeah, it all
we call
goes
it the end
in.
of the year video again. Retro
Re-
rewind.
Rewind, yeah.
Make that your retro rewind video.
Oh, yeah, why not? Hey, it's always the moments that you don't expect that always
Oh,
make it cool, make it worth remembering, right?
100%. But I
Yeah,
still
man.
think anyone who's watching this, if they have not gone into YouTube, I think you're still missing a huge opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Even now,
Yeah, there's space for everyone.
oh, I've never realized before how many little niches there are, and like niche there are on YouTube. You can,
Mm,
you can get great fascination out of like peeling people's fingernails off, and there'd be
good.
a channel for that.
I bet there is. I bet there is one already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just a matter of like finding what you enjoy doing. I think people get caught up in that, right? Like, you know,
oh,
like what do you actually enjoy like doing? And it could be, it could be so trivial, but maybe that's like your thing. You never know.
and we are an aging population. You said yourself that you're what, 49?
39.
39, right, sure. And you're not getting any younger.
No,
So you are no longer watching reviews on like bicycles, probably. I mean,
probably not.
you might have matured in the camera reviews, but there's kids on here that when YouTube came out, they're drinking age now.
Yeah.
That's all they've known their entire life. 2005, right?
Yeah, I think
2004.
so. Something like that. 2005, somewhere in there. That's when it came
Yeah,
out.
19 years ago.
Yeah, but YouTube when it first started was nothing like how like YouTube like
It's a
it's
dating
crazy
site.
how it's like exploded, right?
Well, I put my first video up in 2006.
Yeah. And what was it about?
It was my dog, and I was banging a carpet to make her bark. So I never heard her bark before. First time barking. She was a rescue. And I'm like banging on this drum, and she's barking at us, and she's having a great old time with the zoomies and stuff. And that's what it was. Filmed on like a BlackBerry, I think.
Oh, nice.
Really dark, no
BlackBerry.
light. Yeah, no light.
Yeah.
1 by 1. 360 by 360.
Nice.
All of
Was
like
it still up?
49 seconds.
Was it still up on the
I believe so. It's on my other. So my original channel was called Mud Guts, and then I changed it to the Outside Guide. And that was my
called
original
Mud
channel.
Guts?
Yeah.
Why'd you call it Mud Guts?
Oh, it's the name of the bad guy from Mad Max, the movie. The bad biker. You never watched Mad Max, the movie?
I have, yeah. The new one though.
Oh, well, you got to watch the classic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Really?
yeah. So that was it. I was using that site for everything because when I was selling on eBay, I was making the videos and the products on eBay then. And then one of the customers said, "Oh, I think you should change the name of the channel because I don't like sending people to Mud Guts to check out my oil paintings that I'm selling or this jewelry." So, yeah, that's how I've been making videos about doing reviews. It was around
2006, eh? Wow.
Yeah. Although they really started kicking off around 2009.
Yeah.
God, now I feel old.
Well, it goes to show you just never know when when the videos are gonna hit.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying that if you enjoy something and you want to get into a community, I mean, you start making videos about the thing you enjoy, and the community will come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, 100%.
Especially if you're in it for the long haul.
Oh, if you keep doing those Oakville review videos, like videos of Oakville businesses, that would be really interesting too, because it would almost be part of like Oakville Historical. Because say in 50 years,
I should submit those to Oakville Historical Society.
Yeah, because in 50 years, you might be reviewing the owner of like a startup. And then all of a sudden in 50 years, that person's got the biggest business in town employing everybody.
Imagine.
And they can say, this is where I started.
He's like the Mr. Burns of Oakville. Remember when I spoke to you 50 years ago? Yeah. Well, I mean, like you never know who needs what. You just have to ask. Because we're just saying offline, like you just can't wait for the phone to ring. You have to go out and do it yourself.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If you don't get it done, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
You are the plunger of this business. I mean, someone just took a big dump, and if you don't get that shit out of here, I mean, it's not going to go itself.
Yeah. But that's where being like discipline comes in, and just having that kind of like salesman attitude of just kind of like pounding on doors until someone says yes, right? Which is a skill in itself.
which is that's what I really shine at. I personally think, like, cold calls, talking to strangers, no problem. I can do that any day because like my first job out of high school was door-to-door sales. I went from one side of the country to the other selling this Windex stuff.
Canada.
Yeah, that's like the king of rejection.
Windex.
I mean, well, it was like a cleaning formula called Spray Clean, $80 a gallon, 1989. And let's talk about rejection. I mean, if you get rejected 300 times a day, you build a thick skin, you know. Yeah, so some people do not like rejection, which is where I think down the road an agency getting the business for them would work. And on that note, though, I can tell you I've worked with some agencies. This is why then they're horrible pain. So when you do submit your finished videos to these people, always put sample on it. I'm just saying because force that. Say like 50%, at least 50% before you remove that, because they're going to push you for that watermark, because they're now presenting that to their client. Their client's going to be like, oh, what's this? So,
but you want to get paid.
Oh yeah. I've gone like 90 days. I think is the max I've gone without being paid. And
then what happens?
Well, then you just tell them, say either, you know what, I'm going to make a video about this, because they seem to forget that you're an influencer / video creator. Yeah. Or you're going to pay me, because I'll just make sure that no one ever goes to your business again.
Oh, so you're going to drag them down.
Yeah, I'm great at dragging people down. I love them. But I was going to say a funny story. I was just going to mention, I was at the dog park, and this guy I hang out with there, he's partially disabled. He had like a deteriorating thing in his back, like a disc. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, you should make video. We got talking. He likes editing. I said, oh, you should make some videos about all the medical products you have to test. And then the next time I saw him, he's like, oh, I got a free back brace. This company sent him out like a free back brace to make a video about. And now he's getting all the stuff that he couldn't afford before, like on disability, because these guys get nothing. Mm. And, it's helping him work, because before he was, how depressed you are when you can't do anything. Yeah. Just going to sit around, play video games all day or smoke weed or something. Mm. And that's it. So all of a sudden now he's making money, and he's getting product, and, well, not making money because he can't make money. But I don't think he can make money. Depends on the deal with the disability. But anyway, he's progressing, like I think mentally and creatively, because it's a creative outlet.
What a story.
Well, I find it interesting. I'm glad to see it happen. So if anyone's thinking of doing it, I mean, the only person stopping them is themselves.
Yeah, of course. Just a matter of like willpower, and just being able to like kind of push through through the noise,
Oh yeah, just make it happen. And really, for tools, all you're going to need is your phone, half decent sound, like a somewhat cheap microphone, and some cheap lights. You can edit.
Nothing crazy.
No.
Yeah, edit in CapCut. Okay.
Yeah, and even just you just gotta stick to it, man. That's the thing.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I guess a lot of people would just kind of like stop at, well, I don't have the right gear. I don't have the right this. I don't look, I don't look like Brad Pitt or something, or.
Oh, the excuses that people tell themselves.
It never ends, right? Like I don't have this. I don't do that. And.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're young, because you don't have the confidence and the experience to have made so many mistakes in life that you know that no matter what kind of mistake you make, you're going to land on your feet on the other side. Right? Yeah. So you can try to run the 100-meter dash. Doesn't matter if you fail or not. If you never try or if you never finish, then you'll just keep looking back at it with regret. So you only be another day older when you do finally get to it.
Well, the best time is right now.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, the world has never been like this. So I wish I was just 30 years younger, because then I'd be probably doing the same thing.
Yeah, but on like a larger scale.
Well, different products.
Right, different products.
More bicycles, I think, than
skateboards, and.
No, I was never into a skateboard, but I do like bicycles. But bicycles and clothing and stuff, because there's a real shortage of guys in this business. It's especially older guys, and older females as well too. Like a friend of mine, she's just a couple years younger than me, and she just kind of stumbled into it. Now she's doing like $10K a deal.
Nice. Doing what kind of stuff?
Makeup stuff.
Makeup.
like for older people, like with eye bags and
Yeah.
cards and stuff.
Yeah, man, it's a niche.
She probably doesn't want me saying that out loud, but yeah,
We love you.
she's been doing it now a while, and it's garnered her a good little following. And the brands reach out. I mean, big brands, and they reach out to her and say, "Hey,
Wow.
like, yeah, her face is on posters and stuff."
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it just stumbled into it. She was using the product one day, making a review about it, and boom, 3 million people watched it. And the brand said, "Hey, we like what you did." Then another brand said, "Hey, try it with ours." And then they just started
on
piling
TikTok.
up
On TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok.
3 million. Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't realize it was happening either. I'm just sitting there on the couch with my wife, and all of a sudden I look over at my wife's phone, and she's got like my friend's picture on there. And I'm like, "Are you stalking my Facebook page or something, or what are you doing with her?" And she's like, "You know this person?" And that's when it dawned on us what was happening.
That's such a wild story, man.
Yeah, she was explaining it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, that's my friend from university." So,
yeah, you never know. You never know what can happen. You just gotta put it out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You'll never know unless you try.
Yeah.
You remember, we're going around circles here. I got to fly. This has always been fun. I always enjoy chatting with you.
Thanks, Mike, for spending like your birthday eve on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, man. I mean, you only live once, so you may as well try and fit as much of it as you can into this life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone watching, listening, go check out Mike. Links are in the description of this podcast, and go check out UGC. It is the future. Thanks, Mike. We shall see you next time. Peace.